Yeah, there was
And
no
here
money.
you were editing a journal, the kind of journal that nobody had ever seen in India. And at such a young age, were you sometimes unnerved, wondering whether you could actually do it, not do it? So, all of us.
But that is why I enjoyed it, because many people said, yeah, this guy's come back from Oxford. He's a very elitist kind of character. He doesn't speak Marathi. वो क्या करेगा? He is bound to flop. We are the real journals. We'll show him. So there was an element of challenge of proving that we could take Indian journalism to a different level, which is why I enjoyed it.
Despite all this uh, sort of elitist backdrop from which you came in, I mean, Mayo, Bombay born, Mayo.
But you see what happened in those days. I mean, one of the things we're grateful, we perhaps don't understand enough in those days, is that the relationships between journalists and the people they wrote about were very different. Now, particularly in a city like Jaipur or in a state capital, when you are a journalist, the government is scared of you. The chief minister is scared of you. They will do anything possible to keep you happy. The district administration will be nice to you. In those days, it was very, very different. The relationship between journalists and the people they wrote about was master-servant. They were the sort of dadas, and we were the small guys who went to sir, up interview de lijiye, sir, let me do this, let me do that. So one of the reasons I wanted to be a journalist was because we wanted to change that equation. We wanted the respect that journalists get elsewhere in the world, which I'm glad to say Indian journalists now have.
Come back and been editing various things. This whole experience of Bombay, and then somewhere in the middle in 1980s, you moved over and became the editor of Sunday?
No, it was more complex. I did Bombay for a year and a half. It was a success from the word go, because India was changing and all these new magazines were coming out. And it suddenly occurred to me that if I continued doing Bombay magazine, I would get typed doing that kind of journalism. So I got a fellowship to travel and to research a project on the way foreign media looked at India. So I took a year off and I lived in New York and London, and I studied how that worked. I came back to India, and there was a very old magazine from my parents' days called Imprint, which used to do book condensations, which wanted to revamp itself. And I felt that there was room for a features magazine in India. So in '83, we produced the first issue of the new Imprint, and it was a monthly magazine that dealt in features. In '86, Avik Sarkar saw Imprint, and Akbar had given up being editor of Sunday, and they had tried to raise the price. The magazine was in deep trouble, and he called me and said, would I like to move to Calcutta and become editor of Sunday? So I said, no, I'm only 30. Are you sure you want somebody that young? He said, no, I want somebody very young who'll change the magazine. So that's how I ended up in Calcutta.
Mainstream sort of magazine.
Then I started doing political journalism.
Did you have any role models when you came into journalism? I mean, the buzz was all about Khushwant Singh, about Arun Shourie, and those kind of people, or B.G. Verghese. Would you say any of those names sort of influenced you or impacted you? या मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट सब लोगों से करना चाहूँगा, प्लीज अपने अपने मोबाइल्स को स्विच ऑफ कर लें, और अगर स्विच ऑफ, and then of course you continue this association, although you're not on that day in day out editing the whole thing.
I'm no longer the editor, but I still associate.
Do you see certain major turning points? Because बहुत से लोग देश के अंदर ये मानते हैं कि